It's coffee time, it's coffee time, it's the One Pot Chef drinking coffee and time. That's the crappiest intro ever. Welcome to Coffee Time, the monthly chat show here on the OnePotChefBlog, where I answer questions sent in by you guys. Now, if you've got a question for the next edition of Coffee Time, just leave it in the comments section below here on YouTube. Before we get started, I just want to do a big thank you to Stuart from the UK, who sent me a letter the other day. Hope you're having fun with your new slow cooker, and thank you very much for these naughty little things. They're little chocky bickies. I actually tried them last night with my coffee, and ooh, naughty. Alright, so let's get into the questions. Where are we? Okay, first question comes from the Kiwi Cook, and they ask, favourite food ever? I hate questions like this. I hate it because my favourite food changes from like week to week. I'm going through a peanut phase at the moment. Anything that has peanuts in it, for some reason, I like them, but I don't know why. I don't know. I'm kind of stuck on what my sort of all-time favourite thing is because my tastes change quite frequently. I don't know. I'm sort of... I'll anything with noodles at the moment is good as well. So I'll say a sort of a noodle type thing at the moment. We'll go from there. Next one from Hardcore Glamour 01. What's your favourite fancy meal? Oh, God. Here we go again. Something you would make that was special for a special someone or a nice family dinner. I don't really do fancy type cooking. I'm funny like that because like I've always been sort of a big fan of sort of taking a few basic things and throwing them together. So like my idea of fancy is doing like a stir fry or something like that where we've got lots of different vegetables and things, but I don't do any of the kind of elaborate sort of cooking that requires days of preparation because it's too much work for me. I just couldn't be bothered. So yeah, I don't know if I do anything sort of terribly fancy. Favourite drink apart from coffee? Water, probably. I drink a lot of water. If you mean like an alcoholic thing, I'm partial to a little vodka and cranberry juice. Very nice. Or vodka and tonic as well is very nice. I'm very old-fashioned. And would you go back to work, or is working from home keeping you happy so far? I love it. I'm my own boss. I work my own hours. I work when I want to work. So how could you compare that? It works for me. Let's see. Cuddles 69, 69, 69, 69. There's a username for you. Good God, you put a lot of questions. Okay, let's have a go. Favourite novel? I don't know. If by novel you mean a fictional type thing, I don't really read a lot of fiction. I tend to read a lot of non-fiction type stuff. I don't know. Favourite author? Judith Lucy. She's an Australian comedian. She wrote an autobiography recently called The Lucy Family Alphabet, and absolutely amazingly funny. It was touching. It was very dark in places. It was a great read, so check it out if you can. Favourite song? It's like the food type thing. My taste in music changed quite frequently as well, so I'm not really sure about a favourite song. Getting back into Alanis Morissette again after many, many years, so maybe something from Jagged Little Pill. Let's see, favourite classical artist? I don't mind a bit of Chopin, Beethoven, Tchaikovsky. Have you ever gone skiing? No, never gone skiing, never seen snow. Let me put it this way. Do I look like somebody who gets on skis? I should be put on casters. That's probably better. Do you own a DS or PSP or game on your computer or play console? Or do you not have much time? I don't really do a lot of video games and stuff these days. I did used to have a Nintendo DS. I used to have like crossword games and brain training and things like that. I'm kind of like sort of nerdy like that. And even the games I play today, like I have the iPad, and the game I play the most is Words with Friends because it's sort of Scrabble type thing. I love those sort of word game type things. So yeah, but I'm not much for games these days. I don't really play a lot of games. Let's have a look. Have you ever attempted to write a novel? Well, fiction? No. It took me so long to do the cookbook. I couldn't imagine how long it would take me to write something, you know, actually fictional that would actually be worth reading. So, have you ever tried lemon and piroa? I think that's how it's pronounced. I've never heard of it, no. Biggest influence to who you are today? Oh, I don't know. Probably my mother. I'm not really sure. I like to think that everyone that you encounter, whether they be a good person or a bad person, influences the person you are. So, yeah. Are you single? I'm involved, and that's as much as I'm going to say. Have you ever skinny dipped? Next question. You may read into that how you wish. The decoy. Share a secret. I don't think I've got any secrets. I don't think I do. I could make something up. I don't know. I am the Limburg baby. There we go. Back to cuddles again. You say that you only eat in even numbers with Skittles, etc., but tell me, what do you do if there's only one left? Duh, cut it in half. I love that that's the most obvious answer. Cuddles again. What is the goriest movie you've seen? Did you enjoy it? I don't know. I can't remember the name of the film. It was a few years ago, but it was actually banned in a lot of places, and it wasn't just gory. It was borderline a snuff film, and I didn't particularly enjoy it because I thought sort of like it didn't seem to have a plot. It was just sort of scene after scene of people being butchered, and I was like, okay, well, whatever. So, have you ever seen a movie called Lost Things? It's an Australian film, very creepy, not gory, but creepy, and not many people have seen it, unfortunately. I haven't heard of it, but it sounds interesting. Lost Things. No, I don't think I've seen it. It doesn't ring a bell. If it's one of those creepy psychological things, I probably would enjoy that, so I might put that on my list of things to check out. What's your favourite TV show sitcom? I'm loving Outland at the moment. If you're in Australia and you haven't seen Outland, go to the ABC iViewer and check it out. If you're gay, a Doctor Who fan, a science fiction fan, or any of the above, you will crack up. It is the funniest show. I watched it the other day. I had tears streaming down my face. It was brilliant. Favourite celebrity crush? I'm not sure I have any celebrity crushes. I don't know. I really need to start reading these questions before I do the video, otherwise I never have any answers, but I guess it's better if it's off the cuff. I don't know. Maybe a young Billy Baldwin. Oh. Yes. Anyway. Favourite Doctor Who episode? Oh, God. Are we talking real Doctor Who or fake new Doctor Who? Oh, I'm going to cause trouble there. I'm going to cop so many comments over that comment. Oh, well. If you mean real classic Doctor Who, it would probably be a toss-up between Pyramids of Mars or, I don't know, either Genesis of the Daleks or possibly Ghostlight, only because Ghostlight was just so weird and you can watch it 1,000 times and still find something new in it. So, yeah. As for the new ones, I liked Utopia. There we go. I'll be controversial. Did you cry during The Family of Blood? That's a Doctor Who episode for those who don't know. No, I didn't. I very rarely cry with TV things. Or the Van Gogh episode. No, I didn't. What one TV show or movie has made you cry the hardest? I think the only time was probably, and this is going back a fair bit, I feel like an old man, but back in the day when Ally McBeal was on, when Billy died, because it just came out of nowhere. It was such a shock when they killed one of the main characters, and it was like, whoa, and that the way they did it was very emotional, so that I had a tear on that one, I suppose. LJ Muse asks, my friend and I have got, for the longest time, wanted to travel around Australia in general to experience all it has to offer. I was just wondering what you could recommend us to do and see while we were travelling. Thanks. I Well, it's a big country. If you're planning to travel all over the place, you've got a lot to see. Um, I find the best way to experience Australia, if you're a tourist, is to just do what Australians do. Like, you can go to all the sort of touristy things like the Sydney Opera House and the Harbour Bridge and Uluru and all that sort of stuff. That's fine. But going into a pub and having a few beers with a few people and sort of just wandering around the beach and all that sort of stuff, that's to the everyday stuff, and that's great. So I reckon you should do that. If you've got a chance, go and check out the rainforests in Queensland. Beautiful up there, absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, just sort of basically just check out all the natural. There's a lot of natural beauty spots in Australia, and you should absolutely check them out. So check out the Australian tourism website. They'll give you lots of ideas. You'll be able to see lots of pictures and go, oh, I want to see that. So, yeah. Oh, dear God. Nico's kitchen. So with the cock ice cube trays, do you suck them or bite them and then eat them? I knew he was going to ask this. Well, Mr. Nixon, I think you know more than anyone else that I'm definitely the kind of man who will suck it and see. Next question. Angela J. Fan asks, what does SOPA mean to you? SOPA. How do you think SOPA affects YouTube in general? What type of impact do you think it will have on the internet as a whole? And they've got a follow-up saying it's not dead, it will return. In what form, how watered down do you think it will be, and what kind of impact will it have on the next lot of web blackouts? I've got to admit, I don't know enough about it to have an opinion. I heard about it here and there, but it seemed to be mostly affecting Americans more than anything else, so I didn't really sort of subscribe to it. So, like, I'm kind of ignorant on this subject, so I'm not really sure. As far as I know, it's something to do with copyright and things like that, so I'm really not sure. So I'm not going to give a specific opinion because I don't want to turn out looking like a complete twit. So, ignorance is bliss. Benno32145 asks, have you ever considered learning how to decorate baked goods? Oddly enough, yes, because I am absolutely terrible at things like cake decorating and stuff like that. I can cook cakes, I can make sort of cupcakes, all you want, but decorating them, I can't just make them look pretty. I always make them look weird and rustic looking, so there's actually this amazing cake shop nearby called Constant Craving Cakes, and they do some of the most exquisite desserts you will ever eat in your entire life. They do a hummingbird cake that could put you in a coma. Absolutely amazing. And they actually started offering cake decorating classes at around Christmas time, and unfortunately I missed out on being able to get into it. But the next time they do classes, I am absolutely going to go and check it out, because they do some amazing stuff there, and I would love to learn how to do that. If only for my own sort of amusement, not necessarily for what I do for a living, but it would be fun, so it would be good to check that out. Let's see. Stick RPG HJK. What is your dream city or area to live, i.e. Swiss Alps, Island Beach, etc.? I would love to live somewhere quiet, just away from like sort of traffic and noise and drunk people walking past and all that sort of stuff. So a nice little place in the mountains would be gorgeous. That would be great for me. But I don't see that happening. So like my sort of dreams and aspirations to be a hermit are probably not compatible with my sort of actual need to sort of, you know, make money and be part of society. So maybe a nice cave somewhere. What was the last meal you had? From Kyun3862, I think I said that right. Last meal I had was about an hour and a half ago. I had lunch, and it was a leftover schnitzel that I put on a sandwich, because I had schnitzels for dinner last night, and I had a little bit of chicken gravy left over as well, so I put that on there too. So it was very nice. And I had a cold, because I couldn't be bothered heating it up. When did you start cooking? Very early age. I honestly couldn't give you a specific date or time or age, because I just know I've always sort of been in the kitchen helping mum, so it was a very long time ago, so I don't know, probably around about 4 or 5 maybe, I'm not sure. Darlene211 asks, why don't we see you taste what you make? Oh God, I get this a lot. I've been getting this a lot recently, actually. There's 2 reasons. The most primary reason is that it's just a pain in the ass to have to move the camera and the tripod and everything like that to do a shot of me eating something, because it's an extra sort of dicking around that I can't be bothered doing. But the main reason is that basically I try to make the food the star of the show, and I don't want to be sort of taking away from that by sort of seeing me sort of eating. And realistically, I think it's better for people to focus on the food and then hear a description of what it tastes like rather than seeing me go, yummy. Because, like, I'm also very odd on camera. Like, I do the intros at the beginning of the video, but they take forever to record because I'm constantly stuffing it up. It's much easier for me just to talk to the food than it is to talk to a lens. I don't know why. Which is strange. It's paradoxical, because when I do something like this and I'm looking at the camera and I'm talking and I've got no issue whatsoever, but it's because I'm just reading off I'm not even reading off a script, I'm just sort of reading a question off a screen and then talking to a green light right there. So, I don't know, it's strange, but I can do it with this, but I have difficulty doing it when doing cooking videos, so I don't know. Because I'm crazy, that's why I can't do it. Misa2783 asks, do you have a specific brand of cookware that you prefer to use over others? No. I am the ultimate in cheapskates, so I will find whatever works best for the cheapest price. I will often buy pots and pans and things like that from Kmart. They're dirt cheap stuff and it's usually decent quality. I find sort of like I'll go through and sort of knock on pots and sort of go, oh, I think that's got too thin a base, that can get stuffed right. Oh, that's better, yeah, that'll do. And yeah, so I've never bought any specific brand name type stuff because I've never really felt the need. Most of the stuff, as long as you sort of find something that's a fairly decent quality of a reasonable price, I think you'll be pretty happy. The Happy Chap 101, aha. Thank you for answering my question, the freak with the raw beef. My question is, what is your favourite smell? Mine is petrol. Your favourite smell is petrol. And my favourite smell is bank managers. I have no idea. It's strange. My favourite smell, and it's going to sound really strange, is there's a brand of wine cooler which is no longer available. It went off the market like a decade ago, and it was Wild Peach. And the smell of it and the taste of it, well, this is going to sound strange. It tasted exactly the same as some scented candles my mum used to have. They smelt, like, it makes it sound like I used to eat candles, but the smell of the candles is exactly the same as the taste of this wine. And I've never been able to find anything even remotely close to it. It was beautiful. It was ridiculously sweet. But, yeah, so that would be my favourite smell, something that I'll probably never smell again. So it was stuck in the back of my memory. That is the weirdest answer to a question ever. It tastes just like a candle smells. I sound like a mental. Next question before I go completely insane. Nymphretic. Americans complain about Starbucks sizing, also complain more about the price. You've got me curious about your opinion on Michael Jackson. I don't really have an opinion about Michael Jackson, to be honest. I've never been really much of a fan of his music. I'm not going to go on to that one because I know that if I say anything inappropriate or whatever, I'll get bashed to death. So, yeah, I have no real opinion one way or the other about him, so I shall leave it at that. Sapphire X Ice, or Sapphire and Ice, I think it is. Long-time viewer, first-time question asker. I'm from Canada and I'm curious, have you ever had poutine? Fries with cheese curd and covered in gravy. I have never had it. I know what it is because I've seen it on various videos on YouTube and I've had a lot of people request it. The closest we have here is chips and gravy or fries and gravy, but we've never had anything quite like with the cheese curds in it. I'm not even sure how to replicate that exactly, so It's interesting. I would love to try it only out of sheer curiosity more than anything else, because to be honest, it sounds sort of very, very fattening and very, very evil. So I'm sure it's sort of... Yeah, I would like to try it, but I can't imagine ever making it for myself. I think it's one of those things I might say for if I ever go to Canada, I can sort of go, ooh, poutine. Am I even saying that correctly? Is it poutine? It sounds like poutang. I'm probably totally mispronouncing it and having the whole of Canada go, you're gonna die now. That's why I think Canadians sound like I'm not quite sure why, because I've gone crazy. Next question from Jack Wilkins. I've got loads of questions after watching, but I'll limit myself to 2. Okay. Name 5 famous people alive you'd invite to a dinner party. What would you cook? I have no idea. 5 famous people. Stephen Hawking, because I reckon he would be fascinating to meet. I don't know. Who else? Probably Dawn French, because she'd keep everyone laughing. I'm not sure. Oh, I hate these when I have to pick famous people or 5 favourite cats or whatever. I'm not really sure. I don't know. I hate those, but what would I cook? I'd probably, well, if Stephen Hawking's come up, I'd probably have to mash something up and shove it in a bag or something, I don't know. So, I don't know. Probably lasagna. That always goes well with a group. I've never met anyone who doesn't like lasagna. Well, actually, no, I take it back. I met one person who doesn't like lasagna because they can't eat anything in layers. Frick. And what was your other question? Will and Grace or Friends? You have to pick one. Will and Grace, hands down. Friends was funny at the beginning, but then went totally off the wall and bizarre. But Will and Grace just seemed to get funnier and funnier. So, and I loved the ending to it. So, Next one. I think I may be losing it. Oh God, what a username! I love that. Who is your favourite Doctor from Doctor Who? Probably... I'm going to get all the new Who freaks out of joint by picking 2 classic ones. I'd probably say a cross between Tom Baker and Sylvester McCoy, because Sylvester McCoy was my Doctor. So, actually, technically they were both my Doctor, but that's paradox. And Wackaboo or Yakaboo, maybe Zackaboo. I have no idea what that means. What the hell's a Wackaboo or a Yakaboo? I don't know. I have no idea. I thought for a second if I said it more than once it might actually trigger something, but no, I'm completely lost on that. Happy Ann 515, are you a virgin? Be honest. Alright, I'll be honest. It's been so long it's growing back, but no, I'm not a virgin. Mr. Butterworth 24. I have 2 questions. If a tourist was coming to Australia, what would be the first thing you would recommend them to do? Have a shower. You'll stink after the plane ride. Second question, and you might answer this one in video blog between the day I post this, blah, blah, blah. Does your new house have gas or electric stoves? Electric. And there's one simple reason for that. The street that I live on doesn't have any gas hookup, and the only other option was to have a giant gas tank under the house, and I didn't like the idea of doing that because A, it's very expensive, and B, I don't like having a giant tank full of combustible stuff directly under my house that could explode at any time. So I'm stuck with electric, but the new electric fixtures are fantastic and work very, very well. They actually work as well as any gas fixtures that I've had before, so no problems with that. I was quite happy with the setup, so yay. Let's see. Next question. Simple, easy cooking. Aha. Do you like your toilet paper to roll out on the inside or outside? What a question! On the inside? Who the hell has their toilet paper hanging out on the outside? That's just sick and wrong. Wrong! Against God. Where do these questions come from? Yoshi the Kid 18. Have you ever played any video games? If so, what is your favourite? We covered that before. Eoin 1414. What are your thoughts on the financial crisis in Europe, especially Ireland, and do you hear a lot about it in the news? Also, would you like to travel to Ireland any time, and what would you like to see? I'm not sure I have any thoughts on the financial crisis, but I've heard about it in Ireland, and we mostly hear about the Greek crisis. We don't hear a lot about Ireland these days, but yeah, we hear a fair amount about it in the news, and our politicians are constantly blaming each other for the European financial crisis, which I find totally insane. But that's Australian politics for you. I would love to travel to Ireland. It's one place that I've always sort of wanted to visit and haven't had a chance to, and I don't know much about Ireland, to be honest, beyond sort of like the sort of, Blarney Stone and leprechauns and the standard crap you hear in tourist magazines and whatnot, but it looks like such a beautiful country, and I would love to go and visit and go into a sort of traditional Irish pub and have a pint of Guinness and throw a dart. And I'm probably being very stereotypical, but that's democracy. So yeah, I would love to go there and check it out. Star Wars. Have you met any Latino or Mexican people in Australia? Yes, we've got a few of them. So yeah, although admittedly we don't usually use the term Latino. We don't even use the term, I don't think. But yeah, we've got a few of them here and there. Dakilla 46. Oh, you again, you troublemaker. What's your favourite Tim Tam? Oh, and if you remember me, say so. Yes, I remember you. And I promise you I am going to do a damper video before you bring it up. What's your favourite Tim Tam? Double coat Tim Tams. They are the best. I used to love the original ones the better, but once they brought double coat out, I was like, you've got to love any Tim Tam that is improved by having an extra layer of chocolate on it. So that works for me. Cara from 1993. Do you follow any sports, AFL, NRL, or anything like that? And also, what is your thoughts on body modification, such as tattoos? Alright, I don't really follow any sports. I occasionally watch the NRL, but not for the sporting. Especially if they wear white footy shorts. But that's another story. As for body modification tattoos, I don't have a problem with tattoos as long as they're not too many of them, because you get these people that are literally covered in tattoos, and I think it looks vulgar, it looks ugly, but having a few here and there is fine. I don't have any, I'm too much of a chicken shit, but if they're done properly and they're done by a professional, I think they look fantastic. So yeah, tattoos. Jill M. DeJesus. Are you friends with Nico or just acquaintances? I enjoy his channels as well, and it seems you would get along well. We are very much good friends. He's another example of how bizarre YouTube is, where two people separated by about, 6,000 kilometres, who I've known Nico for 3 years, and I've only met him in person twice. So it's a very strange situation, but we speak on a regular basis, texting each other, and we have video chats on Skype and stuff like that. And yeah, it's lots of fun to catch up with. He's a bit of a troublemaker, as by his question before asking about certain ice cube trays. Troublemaker. But yeah, I love him. I think he's fantastic. So everyone go over to his channel and say he's a big troublemaker, just to confuse the hell out of him. Baxter 457639. I have a question. Are you a fan of Twilight? Are you people deliberately trying to get me into trouble? You're asking me all the controversial questions today. All right. I watched the first one, and I really didn't see sort of what all the fuss was about. It was okay. I've never read the books, I'll be honest. I've only seen some of the movies of it. What's his name? Him with the shirt off all the time. Oh, God, I feel hot and totally inappropriate at the same time, because, like, isn't he like 12 years old? I don't know. I guess when you get to my age, everyone's 12 years old, so I don't know. But Yeah, I can't honestly say I'm a big fan of it. Like, I got dragged along to one of the last movies, and it was pretty shite, actually. It was lucky we didn't have to pay much for the cinema tickets. That's all I can say. Yeah. So next question, I'm going to get killed by the Twilight fans. Oh, I'll tell you a quick story. This is really funny, actually. A friend of mine has the surname Cullen, and was it Edward Cullen as in the movie. And he actually got a message from someone on Facebook complaining and bitching about him how he was trying to get popular off the back of Twilight because using that surname. And he's there going, I predate bloody Twilight by about 30 years, so are you kidding? It was too funny. I couldn't believe this kid had actually sent this message to him saying, like, how dare you use that name? Oh, children are stupid. What's the next question? Peanut Mama. Who are the 4 users you are closest to on YouTube? Oh, goodness. Well, we've got Nico. Let's see. We've got Aussie Griller. He's a good mate of mine as well. We speak on a regular basis too. Cooking with Karma, another cook. We know each other very well from the YouTube Next Chef program. Ms. Burpee. I tell you, I haven't spoken to her recently, but gosh, she's a lovely girl. Love her. I'd love to give her a big cuddle, as I frequently do when I catch up with her. It's a shame we didn't live close. We don't live closer. I would love to hang out with her more because she's an absolute crack up. I would love to jump in and help her with some of her videos and see her doing her cocktail videos because, oh, they're a scream to watch. I would love to be there and see the unedited version. Another question from Peanut Mama. The prior mentioned 4 YouTube buddies unexpectedly dropped by for dinner. This is going to be another one. What would you prepare, isn't it? Wanting to impress, you decide to prepare a course meal. It's a public hole. Oh, God, okay. All right, I'll read it again. Wanting to impress them, you decide to serve a 3-course meal, but it is a public holiday and all the shops are closed. So you will have to use things already in the home or usually have. What will you be serving your ravenous friends? Pizza Hut. It's a public holiday. I'm freaking cooking. Get stuffed. I have no idea. I don't know. I hate questions like this because they make me think. I don't want to think. What do I normally have in the house? I'm not really sure. I'll probably just do some potato bake or something. I've always got frozen bits of bacon in the freezer, so chuck that in. So cheese and bacon, potato bake. If they don't like it, they can move to Russia. Mr. McGangbanger, serious question. What is your favourite city in the world? I don't know. I'd love to go around Singapore again because I haven't been to Singapore since I was about that size. And I remember it was an absolutely weird city. Like, I don't know what it about it that was weird. I think it was just because it was so clean and lots of people smiling and stuff like that, which is just unnatural and bizarre. But I would love to go back over to Singapore, even if it was just for a few days. It would be fun to go around there because, yeah, it would be a lot of fun, I reckon. Plus, it was on The Amazing Race recently, I think it was, and it was very interesting stuff there. This big marina thing with grass all over it. I'd love to go and check that out. Mr. Michael V. Reyes, did you know at some state fairs in the United States they fry butter like they would a Snickers? Yes! I saw that recently. Deep fried butter. What kind of sick-minded freak came up with that? Although we are talking about the same people who came up with deep fried Coca-Cola, which is bizarre. I couldn't imagine anything more bizarre. Why would you eat deep fried butter? I just find that ugh. I don't even understand the physics of it. How would you even deep fry it without it just melting in the centre? What is it, like crumbs on the outside and a liquid core? That's weird. I don't know. Oh, ugh. Yeah, God, I've got this thought of having like a hot pool of butter in my throat. I don't like that. That's a disturbing image. Next question. Jill M. to Jesus. In the US, we also have deep fried pickles. Have you ever tried a fried pickle? Never tried it. I must admit, I'm not big on deep fried food. I very rarely eat it these days, and which seems strange considering my body size, but yeah, I'm not really much for deep frying. In fact, when I made that deep fried Mars bar, I was sick for like 2 days afterwards. It was just gross. I couldn't stand it. So, let's see. I think it's Conqueror Jack. What would you do if tomorrow YouTube called you and said they are cancelling your partnership? I'd probably starve to death because this is my job. I work from home, but yeah, I don't see them doing that. I think the partnership program is way too important to YouTube these days, so I don't see that happening. But in the event that it happened, yeah, I'd probably starve to death because, yeah, that wouldn't be fun. I'd probably be out there having to sort of pull trade off the street.
Want an horrible time, dearie? $5.
What time index are we up to? 36 minutes, and I've already made several prostitute references. I'm doing well for this episode. Okay, Sweet Candy 55. Which of these do you prefer? Chinese or Mexican? I'm assuming by food, I'd probably say Chinese. Salsa or guacamole? Probably guacamole. Crunchy or smooth peanut butter? Smooth, because I'm not really fussed on little bits of peanut getting stuck in my teeth. Ice cream or sorbet? Probably a bit of both. Maybe ice cream, if I had to choose one. What is your favourite alcoholic beverage? We've done that already. What is your least favourite food to eat? Oh, goodness. Probably liver. My dad loves liver. He loves having his liver and bacon and onions, and yeah. I don't know. I've tried it before, and it's not that it's just. I just don't like it. I just don't like the texture of it. I don't like the flavour of it. I don't know. So that and Brussels sprouts. You couldn't pay me to eat a Brussels sprout. I would literally shoot myself before even putting one of those disgusting green fluffy pus balls in my mouth. Yuck. Next one. Horror Movie 100. I have 3 more questions. Do you believe in God or are you an atheist? I'm an atheist. Have you ever got into a fight? Yes. And 3. Dude, where's my car? I do not know where your car is. Yeah, I have been in the occasional fight. Not recently, despite what certain rumours may say. But yeah, it's been a while. So yeah, and as for the God thing, yeah, I'm an atheist. Jacob 360100. What do you do for work? I do this for work. I make YouTube videos. I do the cooking videos on the main channel as the primary thing, and this section as well. So yeah, I do that full time. What do you do in your spare time while not cooking? What is this strange alien concept you call spare time? I have no spare time these days. Actually, no, I don't have a lot of spare time these days. When I do, I tend to sort of read a bit and catch up in my stories, as I call it, catching up on my TV shows. And yeah, so I've been getting into audiobooks recently. I love Stephen Fry's audiobooks. I've been listening to the Fry Chronicles recently, and it's great to just put it when I'm just getting tired and go to bed, and I can just put it on the iPad and let it play and fall asleep to it. It's great. Not to suggest that Stephen Fry puts me to sleep, but he has that sort of rhythmic, soothing voice that sort of, yeah, is agreeable to transition from awakeness to sleepness, and I'm getting very wordy like Stephen Fry, so God help me. Henry Kems, you could review... what? You could review cookware on a 3rd channel. Could you do more cooking with wine and whiskey? I try to avoid cooking with alcohol simply because anytime I do use alcohol in a recipe, I inevitably get either people complaining about how they don't drink alcohol, or young people saying that they can't use alcohol because obviously they're underage. And Yeah, so I generally, if I do use alcohol, I will usually include something in the video or the recipe description offering a substitute, but I try to avoid it wherever possible because it just makes it easier. Otherwise, I'll be replying to 1,000 comments going, what can I use instead of the wine? So, yeah, I just try to avoid it. Next question. A few questions from CatFreak190. Have you ever considered buying an electric ice cream maker? I've had one. They're crap. They are the worst pieces of junk. Unless you're prepared to spend a fortune on one of the really high-end industrial ones, you're wasting your money. They are garbage. Every time I've seen an ice cream maker, because I've had friends who bought them, I've bought them, my mum had one at one point, every time they're garbage. So I've given up on them. So yeah, unless you're really spending like thousands of dollars on some industrial thing that's about this size and will take up half your kitchen, I wouldn't bother. I'd just find a non-ice cream maker recipe, which I have several on my channel. Feel free to check them out. Plug, plug, plug. Have you ever considered buying an electric salt and pepper grinder? I never understood the purpose of those. I think it's just a gimmicky gadget, gizmo type thing. I've never understood why, because like, how much effort is there to go like that? I've never understood why they need to be electric. It's like, I don't know, it's like Bluetooth. They put Bluetooth into everything no matter what. I swear to God, I bought a cup of coffee the other day and it came with Bluetooth, so I have no idea why. I'm pretty sure that's vodka you're drinking, not water. Be honest, David. I will never be honest. Next question. Australian in Japan. Did you go to cooking school to learn cooking? No, never did any kind of cooking classes or culinary school or anything like that. I'm basically self-taught. I've worked in the industry well over a decade, so I picked up various bits and pieces there. So it's basically just what I've picked up over the years. I've never done any formal training though. Super Egg Films, do you like cooking? Nah, mates, for poofters. I really just said that, didn't I? Oh, the gay man's going to be accused of homophobia. I love being paradoxical. Grace Donahue. I know in Australia you have a state called New South Wales. Would you ever visit the original South Wales in the UK? Absolutely. I've got a thing about Welsh accents. I don't know why, but I love the Welsh accent, and I'll probably get into trouble if I pretend to do one. Because, like, having been a fan of Torchwood, every Welsh accent is extremely easy to make fun of. So, like, Yan Tor, would you like a cup of tea, Yan Tor? That is the worst Welsh accent ever. So, yeah, before I get sort of shot down in flames, so I've gone from homophobic to racist. I'm doing well in this video. Yeah, so I'd love to go to Wales. It sounds like a lot of fun. I'd like to go and check it out. I'd love to go to the Millennium Centre and check out all the exhibitions and things that are going on. But too far away, unless anyone wants to want to buy me a flight over there and accommodation and someone to drive me around. And I'm not asking much, really. Casamia. Have you ever heard of Tie Dye? If so, do you listen to him, like his music, since he's from Australia? I've never heard of him. I don't know who Tie Dye is. In fact, I always thought that was a kind of t-shirt decoration, so I have no idea. I'll have to look him up later just to satisfy my curiosity. Human Dancer. Do you like dumplings? I think everyone loves dumplings. If you're talking about the Chinese ones, absolutely love them. Although there's heaps of different kinds of dumplings. Yeah, I would say I am pro-dumpling. Simon R101. What's your top 5 favourite TV shows that are either still on or have finished? Oh, there's so many to pick from. Okay, well, we've got our Doctor Who. We'll stick him in there. I loved Buffy. I loved the writing on that. Will and Grace is another one. Trying to think. There's too many. I love a lot of those nature documentaries and things. So anything with David Attenborough. He did one recently called First Life, which was just absolutely brilliant. So we'll have to add that in there. I don't know. Too many to think of. OP Boardingo. Nico asked this question in one of his videos, and I'd like to know your response. How big do you like your bananas? How big do you like your bananas? If it's more than a mouthful, it's a waste. And moving on, Bradley Robson, Thai or Chinese? Probably Chinese food. I don't mind some Thai food, but I'm kind of a wuss when it comes to things like chili and very hot curries and stuff, and so I've never been a big fan of that sort of stuff in Thai cuisine, but love Chinese food, so yeah, I'll go for that. Peppermilk. What's your favourite type of cake? Going back to that cake shop I was telling you about before, they do a chocolate mud cake that is so thick, so rich, so moist, that is just downright evil. And it is very difficult to have more than probably the most tiniest slice because it is extremely rich. I love that. I usually get it for close friends and family when it's their birthday, sort of those that can handle it, the true chocoholics. I would love to go to that place and find out how they make that, just out of interest to see what goes into it to make it so dense. I would love to see their recipes, but I would imagine it's a closely guarded secret. CatFreak190 again. Let's see. I know you've already made a mocha cake, but can you show us how to make a coffee cake with the coffee icing? Or just a recipe showing us how to make the coffee icing. I would like to see cinnamon rolls first, though. Thank you very much for hearing me out. Cinnamon rolls is on the to-do list. I don't know how long it's going to take to do it because I've already got several videos recorded already, so it could be a couple of months before you see it. I could probably do a coffee cake. I'm sure I could do that. I'll add that to the list, and we'll see that materialise eventually, so we'll see what happens. Where have you moved to? Totally different area? No, it's I only moved about 30 kilometres away from where I was living before, so it's still the same area. It's just sort of a different area because so that's where I moved to. Can you please show us your DVD collection? Actually, no, I can't at the moment because my DVD collection is kind of in piles at the moment because of all the reconstruction work with the kitchen, and we're about to get the floors done and start painting and things. We started packing stuff up, so there's nowhere to put it at the moment. So, I can't show it at the moment, but suffice to say, I do have a fairly extensive collection of hideous crap from the bargain bin, so I'm sure I can make a video of it sometime, so yeah. Did you see Nico's weekly vlog when he went on that cruise with Jess? You mentioned that you would like to go on a cruise. Would you like to go on the same cruise as the one he went on? When did he go on a cruise? Oh, did you mean like that little tour around the bay thing? Oh, I mean like, I think when I was saying about a cruise, I meant like, one of those sort of long 2-week cruises at sea type thing going around South Pacific and stuff like that. That would be fun. But I've gone on cruises around sort of like those sort of 2-hour tour type things. They're sort of not bad either, but that was kind of what I meant, like an actual holiday cruise type thing where you go to the South Pacific and visit islands and, get ridiculously drunk and have anonymous sex with strangers and, the normal sort of thing. Wow, I put that in a totally... I didn't expect it to go that way. I didn't say that. Let's edit that out, shall we? Zip, 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 zip. There we go. No one remembers it. If only that worked. Harrington Child, would you ever go bald? I can see it working, and if you had to marry one, have sex with one, or kill one out of Nico, Jesse and Dave Couch, who would you be? I can't answer that. Would I ever go bald? I'm practically bald as it is at the moment. I just had my hair clipped off because it's been stinking hot and humid recently, and every time my hair grows more than about a millimetre, it gets gross, so it's much nicer to have it short like this, despite certain people who shall remain nameless suggesting that I look like some form of coconut. You rotten bitch, you know who you are. I'm not going to answer the other half because, yeah, I love all three of those people and I couldn't imagine having sex, killing them, or marrying any of them, to be honest, because I think it would be wildly inappropriate. Let's see. Little Bunny Katie. Oh, I love that name. Do you still want to go on a cruise after what happened to the Costa? Oh, the Costa Concordia. I think that was a fairly rare event. I'd still want to go on a cruise. I think that was just the captain doing something inappropriate, so I guess we will find out exactly what happened on that eventually, but yeah, it doesn't diminish my want to go on a cruise. I would love to go on a cruise. Hillsman25. Do you get Kinder Buenos in Australia? They are the best chocolates ever. Yes, we do get them. They're marketed as a children's chocolate, but I haven't had one for years, actually. I haven't tried one for a very long time. So I don't really remember what they're like. I know it's something like soft on the inside, like goo. I can't remember. It's been a while. Please can you make and film a kangaroo hot pot? Kangaroo hot pot? Do you know what? I have never eaten kangaroo. I will be honest. I have never eaten it. And I'm sure a lot of people out there from outside Australia are going to think an Australian who's never eaten kangaroo, how bizarre. But believe it or not, it's not that common a food in Australia. Like, you can buy it quite readily. It's just not something that's on the everyday menu in Australia. I don't even know how to cook it. I've never cooked it before, so I wouldn't have a clue. I'd have to do some research. Leave it with me. We'll see what happens. Vicky Schmidt. 2 questions. Light end. Who is your celebrity crush? Oh, God, we've got this one again. We've done that. Bit heavier. Are you happy? I wouldn't say I'm happy. I would say I am on the way to being happy. I've had pretty tough time over the last few years and things are starting to look up and get brighter. So I would say I'm not happy yet, but I'm on the way. Getting there. So, ooh, that's deep and meaningful. I don't know, productions. Can you please make southern fried chicken? I hate fried stuff. This is the one thing that's terrible having a cooking channel. If people request stuff that you'll never eat, you have to either try and make it and then never eat it, or disappoint them by saying you wouldn't make it. Maybe. I'll put it in the definite maybe pile, because it's probably something I should make, but I'll make you a fried cheesecake topped with fried butter? Good God. Are you trying to get me to make the fried chicken, or are you trying me not to get to make it? Because that sounds bloody awful. Fuller Grace 78. Have you seen snow? How cold does it get in Australia? Today it was minus 37 degrees Celsius and lots of snow. Love from Estonia. Oh, hello to Estonia. I've never seen snow in person. We do get snow in Australia here and there, but not where I live. It gets to, well, obviously below 0, so there can be snow, but I think it's usually around minus 10 is the absolute sort of coldest it gets in Australia. Might a bit more if you get a sort of a freak weather pattern, but yeah, it's very hot today. It's very humid. I hope I'm not sweating or something, but I probably am. But as I say, I've been sitting here. How long have I been sitting here? 54 minutes. Oh, we could be on a record for this one today because I've got a lot more questions than I normally do. Yeah, so it does get cold here, but nowhere near as cold as it does in Europe. And I would love to go to Europe in the winter just to feel that cold, because I love cold. CatFreak190 again. Do you like Peter Andre? As a pincushion or just in general? Yeah, I have no opinion on him, to be honest. He seems to be a lot more popular in the UK than he is in Australia, because he had a few sort of hit singles in the 1990s very early on, but beyond that he's virtually unknown in Australia, so yeah, I have no particular opinion on him. Did you see the video of the Asian guy being beaten repeatedly by a group of thugs, which happened in the US? This video went viral here in the United Kingdom as well. No, I haven't heard about that. That sounds awful. No, it doesn't sound familiar. No, I don't know anything about it. CatFreak190, have you ever had ostrich burgers before? I didn't know you could make a burger out of an ostrich. You'd have to run pretty quick, wouldn't you? I don't know. No, I've never had an ostrich burger. Have you heard about the whole of Europe being below freezing? It's been snowing in the UK for a few days now. Yeah, we've seen a bit of footage on the news about it, about the big cold snap. I know a lot of people have died because of the cold, and that's terrible. But it seems like an alien thing to most Australians because it never gets anywhere near that cold here in Australia. So it's very strange to see on TV because it's such an alien thing to us. So yeah. Can you show us how to make a Mars bar slice? I think I've done one, haven't I? I'm sure I've done something similar to it. I can't remember. This is the problem. I've made like about 200 cooking videos on YouTube now, and now I don't know. I actually accidentally repeated one the other day and didn't realise it until people started sending me messages, and I was like, whatever. It's slightly different, so it doesn't count. Aussie Zach 88. Why did you not go gas for your stovetop in the new kitchen? Oh, already answered that one. So, yep. Hamilton Saskia. Have you ever heard of Bam Margera? Yes, I have. Are you a fan of him? What does it say? If you are, my life will be complete because my favourite YouTuber will be my favourite celebrity. Oh, okay. Oh, your favourite YouTuber? You haven't watched a lot, have you? I can't say I'm a fan of him. I can't say I dislike him. I've seen him a couple of times in Viva La Bam, but beyond that, I don't really know a lot about him. Like, I think he was in Jackass as well, wasn't he? But yeah, because he's the one who has the pathological fear of snakes or something. So yeah, I can't say I like or dislike him. It's sort of like I know him, but yeah, I don't really have an opinion. Good grief, CatFreak190, you ask a lot of questions. Do you like Horlicks, or have you heard of Horlicks? It's malted powder which you put in drinks like hot milk or hot toddy. Yes, I love Horlicks. Very expensive in Australia, so haven't had it for a very long time. I actually bought some a couple of years ago and went through it in about 2 weeks or so, and I just couldn't justify buying any more of it because I became an addict. So, CatFreak190 again. Do you like George Michael? No. Not a fan. Can you please bring your lovely hot weather to London, please? I'm getting sick of the snow here. It's snowing right now as I'm typing this. You can bloody have it. I am sick of the heat. I'm sick of the humidity. I would take snow any day. I would love a bit of snow just to cool off, because the last couple of weeks it's been nothing but rain and heat alternating and at the same time, and it's the worst feeling. I can't stand it. So I would love a bit of snow. So please feel free to send it in bucket loads. Go for your life. OP Bordingo again. Who was your first love? I can't answer that question for privacy reasons, so I'm going to leave that one alone. my current partner is my first love, and I'm not getting into that. So, Skillerboy89, do you mean Friday the 13th or Halloween? I don't understand the question. Do you mean Friday the 13th or Halloween? It must be a reference to the last video, but I don't remember what it was. Yes, I do. There we go. We'll answer that. And the final question from the Scottish Gamer. Whereabout in Scotland was your mum from? She was from Glasgow. Right, that's it. All the questions done. And we have a new coffee time record of just under an hour. Good grief. Actually, just over an hour probably. So, yeah, that was a big mammoth one. That should make up for the shorter version of coffee time from last month. Well, thank you very much. If you've got questions for next month, please leave them in the comment section below. Lots of love to you all. Keep out of trouble, and I shall talk to you later.